Hey, it's Sandy with Quilted Treasures and more, and happy Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if you've got a ton of plans for the weekend. I hope you have some time built in to just kick back and rest and enjoy a little downtime. I have actually been piddling with this fireworks or rockets door hanger here for the last little bit. And so I was like, well, I debated on whether to jump on because it is a holiday weekend, but I was like, "You know what? I'm sitting here painting. I'll just click on, see who's on here, say hi, tell everybody happy Memorial Day weekend, and just do a little painting." So I am working on, like I said, fireworks. And so I've already started. I've got some white for the stars. I've already got white. I went ahead and white coated uh, all of the rockets. And then I've been working on a little bit of yellow here with the actual, oh, I guess you could call that the exhaust or the explosion or I'm not, I guess the propulsion of the fireworks. I'm not sure what you want to call it. But anyway, we're working. I'm going to add glitter to the bottom of this. So we're going to make it sparkle. All right, so I've got the yellow down, I've got white down. I'm actually going to be working on some orange and some red, and that's actually what I really wanted to show this evening was just me working on doing a little blending with the colors and making just a fade effect from one to another. And I'm actually, uh, I don't really want it that bright of an orange. I really wanted it a little bit darker orange, closer to red. Let's see what this looks like mixed together. Uh, Still a mighty bright orange. I don't know. We'll go with it and see what I think. I may end up changing that a little bit. Let me get that off the end of my brush. Otherwise, I'll have it all over my hands. All right. So, like I said, I've just been working on, I've got the white down. I actually went ahead and put down the yellow. And I've just kind of been blending a little bit. Just going to get it where it fades from. This is actually kind of a whitish yellow, and then it comes into the yellow, and then I'm going to go into the orange. So I'm going to do this just a little, may seem like a little bit backwards. So I'm just going to blend a little bit in here and work a little bit with the yellow and the orange. I actually have got this angled brush upside down, and that may seem kind of strange. I tend to go in a couple of different directions with some of my shading and blending. Sometimes I'll use a flat brush. A lot of times I'll use an angled brush. I kind of like the angled brush. So I'm getting just some of the orange and some of the yellow together here and just kind of blending. And then I'm going to go a little bit more toward orange. And I'm actually going to change brushes and leave my angled brush for more blending and go with the flat brush so I can cover a little more ground than what I do with the angled brush. So who's planning a barbecue tomorrow? Give me some ideas on what y'all are barbecuing if you're going to be cooking out. Or maybe you did that today and tomorrow is just going to be a day of rest. Even if you're watching on the replay, just put replay and tell me what good stuff you're planning on eating this weekend or tomorrow. Maybe what you've had this weekend that was good, and then what you plan on tomorrow. And of course, don't forget to say hi and where you're watching from. I always like to know that as well. All right, so I'm going to add a little more orange and then I'm going to top or do the very bottom with some red. I'm going to mix a little red in there. So I'm just going to make sure my orange paint is still kind of on the damp side so that way I can mix it between the colors. And I'm actually going to turn this sideways for a minute because I know what I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to drag my wonderful red, white, and blue wrap here all through the orange paint. And it's going to end up looking crazy colored instead of red, white, and blue. Okay, I have my bright red here. Well, I don't know. When I mix it with orange, it will probably change that red just a little bit. So, you know what? We're going to go with that. All right, I'm going to spin it back around. Well, I spun it around the first time so I could get my brush. Hello from Robert to Dale. Hey, Brenda. I'm so glad you joined me this evening. I hope you've had a good weekend. You got big plans and cookout plans for tomorrow. I was just being nosy and asking what everybody's going to be cooking. No, I'm not going to show up at your house. A lot of times I ask so that way I might gain some ideas for what I might do. I don't know. Sometimes I get tired of doing the same old, same old. So sometimes I like to look through the post where people go, "Hey, what's your food ideas for this week?" Or "What are y'all planning on cooking?" That way I can kind of get a few ideas as well. So I'm just blending in some red. Oh no, you're working. Oh no. I am just blending some orange and red here, so I'm getting the red in the very end, like the rocket is taking off. I'm actually using an angled brush right at the moment. I'm actually going to go back and get just a little bit more orange and go just over the top of this. Oop, and I have to rinse that out. Once you start seeing that your colors are no longer coming out separated, it's always good just to rinse it out and kind of pick back up. And all I want to do is just blend that little bit of red and orange. And sometimes I do kind of like a figure eight, and sometimes I just kind of go back and forth a little bit. Just depends on. Just depends on the look I'm going for. All right, I'm gonna turn it sideways. You can kind of see a little bit how it's starting to blend down. And I may come back over this a little bit. I may do just a little more white there just to make it a little bit lighter. For all the rain that we had along the Gulf Coast last week, we have had a couple of very beautiful days. Even though I can't say that I'm real excited about how my yard is looking at the moment. Love the sunshine, but after all that rain, the grass is just, oh my goodness. Mm, mm, mm. All right, so I am gonna say done on the red and the orange, and I think I am not gonna try it with this angled brush. I've got way too much orange and red. So I think I may go back. Let's see. Nope, I got orange in that one too. I don't want to try that. Let's see. Let me think a second. Here we go. I'm going to grab, if it'll give it to me, I'm going to grab this flat tip brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get just a little bit of yellow, or a good bit of yellow and just a little bit of orange. And I'm just going to come back up here a little bit. Let's see if I can just blend it just a little bit more. Not much. Just feel like it's still too defined. I want it to kind of, sometimes I have to look at the camera view. I don't know why it always seems to look different in the camera view than what I'm sitting here looking at, but okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up to the top with just a little more white. It's time to refill my white container. I have several of the really common colors, white, black, red, that I actually get large containers of those, and oh, Sandy, and then just refill them as I need them. So I'm just going to put a little more white right here and just right up the top, and then I'm going to come back with yellow and just kind of blend the two together a little bit. I've already done this once, but to me it's still just a tinge too yellow right here at the top. Okay, so now a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow. White and yellow, and just kind of work back and forth. Blend those two together. There's a few places where I still see just a little more yellow than what I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna kind of tap in those areas and then just kind of blend it out. Okay, that's looking more along the lines of how I'm wanting it to look. All right, so I have already been in the red one time, but I think I did that with the, excuse me, did that with the angled brush. So I am going to get a smaller, I say a smaller brush. Yeah, I'm not going to go with an extremely wide brush. I'm going to go back to this little red brush for my blue up here at the top. Um, well, you know what? I didn't change the camera angle. Let me change this real quick. Okay, there we go. Now you can see now you can see even more of what I'm doing. Okay, so the top of the rockets are going to be blue and it has stars. So I'm probably going to be using the smaller red brush that I have. But I want to get just a flat brush to use with the red and get the stripes done real quick. And I actually, right here is the word welcome. I am not going to do that in color on the door hanger. I'm actually going to paint a separate set of letters that have been cut out, and I'm going to put those on, and it will be 3D. I've kind of gotten hooked on 3D door hangers having some aspect cut out separate. And it just kind of makes them stand out, makes them look different. Oh, of course, I would get a nice, fairly big flat brush, and then I'm going to find some little triangle that I got to try to squeeze it into. Always my luck. Which thankfully, all of this will be outlined in black. So even if I do go over into my tracing or my outline part, at least it will be covered up. So I don't have to worry about that. All right, one more on this one. And I know I've got it facing sideways. I'm trying not to lean over all of this down here. I try to work from top to bottom most of the time. Sometimes that's not possible. And this was one of those times. In order to do the lighter colors, which was going to be your uh, flames coming out of the bottom, I had to go ahead and get that started first and then come back to the stripes. So I've got it sitting sideways just so that you know what, let me look one more time at my example picture because yeah, they all have white at the top. Okay. I was just like, if I put this on there and then I discover that I've done the wrong thing. So I've been showcasing tumblers for the weekend because they are a new item in my shop or a new item that I'm offering. I've now got to upload all of these into my shop. This was actually a kind of pre-shop kind of thing. I know that may sound weird, but sometimes things are put on Facebook before I technically get them into the online shop. Okay, so white, red, white. So which way does that fall? Is it the two little ones? No, that one's white and that one's white. Okay, I'm making sure I got the right ones painted red here before I move on. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for just a minute. I'm gonna come back down to the very bottom where some of the red needs just a little more. So a little more paint on the very tip edges because it looks a little light colored. So I'm not putting very much paint on the brush on the bottom down here. And then as I go up, I just kind of get lighter on the pressure. So that way, I don't actually go over the blending that I've done and then create a true line. So this week I've got some more tumblers I'll be doing. I'm going to be working on some t-shirts. And of course, door hangers. Always door hangers. So I'm excited to show some new designs in all of those. Well, the shirts, of course, would be new, period. The tumblers be some new designs. And then the door hangers, well, I've got new designs in the door hangers coming up this week too. All right, almost finished with the red, and then we can move to the blue. And then I'm going to show you the letters that I'm going to work on. Okay, that's not, I was like, man, how did I get paint on all of that? But it's not, it's dust or not sure what that is. No, don't go in the paint. Get out of there, whatever you are. And of course, you had to leave red paint on my white. I don't know what that was. A little piece of dirt or something. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move that just a little. Now, time for the blue. Yay. I'm excited to get to do the top of. I love the patriotic tumbler. Oh, yes, I've had fun with some of the patriotic tumblers. I have one that I have yet to do. It's really pretty. It has an eagle on it, and for some unknown reason, me and that design are not getting along real well. Um, I've printed it and it comes up short, and so I'm having to play with the size. I've adjusted it twice, and I hope. And what's weird is I don't know. I don't know if it's not taking the adjustment or if something's wrong with the file. I don't know. I'm gonna try it one more time, but I really do like it's got an eagle and the flag in the background, and I was the first time I printed it and I went to wrap it around the tumbler, I was so aggravated. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But yes, I like the patriotic ones, and there's so many to choose from. Now I think we have either a mosquito or moth in the house. And of course, it's gonna come find me. It seems like after the rain, um, we tend to see well, of course, mosquitoes love you know, any stagnant water, but it's just like with our yard being so saturated with water and not being able to really get out and do much with it until it finishes drying. The mosquitoes just like breed hourly or something. It's just crazy. Okay, so there's the top of one down. Get the other two done, and then I'll show you the letters. And I'm still not sure what color I'm gonna paint those. I keep changing my mind. I thought one time white, and then I was like, it's got so much white on it. I'm like, okay, I did the banner yellow, which I need to go back and do the shadow on my banner. There's a little place right here on either side of the um, rockets, and I just want to go and make it just a fuzz darker so that it looks like it's in the shadow. Stars are one of those things where I love having the stars on the patriotic stuff, but then while I'm trying to so carefully paint around them and not change the color of them, I get impatient because I can't zip around the stars like I do some of my other designs. Thankfully, there is an edge and or a little outline mark, and I will be going over that in black. So that way I don't have to worry about any of those little slight boo-boos that I do. Cut your door hangers out after you get off work. Oh, and by then the mosquitoes. Oh, I bet they try to carry you off. Oh my goodness. Yes, they they tend to just love us sweet people. They just like to come hang around us. With the heat and the humidity here in the along the Gulf Coast, we're like you, Brenda. We get out and we cut a lot of times in the evening, and because it's cooler, one, but it's also better for the equipment rather than trying to run it during, when I was cutting everything out with uh, just me doing it with the jigsaw. Oh my goodness, I can remember sometimes dodging the storms and having to be out in the middle um, on my patio. So I don't have a carport or anything like that, but I can remember being out on the patio, and I say that like that was so very long ago. Uh, Being out on the patio in the heat and in all the humidity, and you're trying to get things cut. And during the day, it's not the mosquitoes you have to worry about, it's the yellow flies and the wasp and the bees that wanna chase after you. But, yeah, trying to duck and dodge thunderstorms and all that good stuff. I did get a little place in our shed cleared out so that I could do there, and I did that for a little while before we got our bigger piece of machinery that, has been very helpful in getting items cut. But yes, we have come full into mosquito season along the Gulf Coast. Well, I mean, it's not just along the Gulf Coast, but sometimes I feel like we are bombarded sometimes along the Gulf Coast more so than some of the inland places. And I guess it really depends on whether or not you're on the water too. Um, I know my uncle used to live on the river here in Mobile County, and it was not the mosquitoes that were so bad at his house. It was the gnats. They would absolutely positively uh, just torture you. And it was the teeny tiny ones. And if you're watching and you're from the southern part of the U.S., you'll know you've probably already said their names. Uh, Most of the time, they're called no-see-ums or can't-see-ums, and them suckers hurt. They are kind of brutal. It wasn't the mosquitoes that you worried about at his house. Yep, the no-see-ums. Yep. Yep, they are brutal sometimes. You did not want to go out after dark in a pair of shorts down on the river, let me tell you. All right, so I'm almost finished with the blue. I'm doing a second coat because there's a lot of splotchy I'm using True Blue, and I love this color blue, but I do have to definitely do 2 coats, and sometimes I still have to go back and do a little bit of touch up in some spots because it still wants to, be just a little bit thin in some areas, even with 2 coats on it. Most colors I can get away with 2 coats and everything's good to go, but some colors I have to come back and do just a little touch up. It also depends on, how much you're doing as far as highlights or outlines, because all that will add to, and the little things that seem to stand out at this stage, once you start outlining and highlighting, then they just kind of fade away. It's not that they disappear, they just fade away. All right, well, I'm going to get the letters real quick. Oh, I got to go from this side. Okay, so here are the letters. As you can see, they're kind of small, not super tiny, but this is what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to put them on a piece of painter's tape, and I'm going to paint them. I find it easier than trying to hold them individually. So I wanted to show them to you, but then I'm going to paint them after, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to let this dry really well, and then I'm going to paint. Blue is the hardest for me to get. Yep, yep. I have trouble with this particular color blue. Now, some blues I do fine with, but the true blue, for whatever reason, that and bright blue. True blue and bright blue are the 2 hardest for me. Here, I'll turn it around where you can see it right side up. So the letters are going to be raised, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them to a piece of painter's tape, and then I can paint, and I don't have to worry about covering my hands because I've tried that before. And so I just found it a lot easier to work with them stuck to a piece of painter's tape. Get them all painted, let them dry really good, and then I just come back with adhesive and get them all placed on there. Okay, so I'm gonna do some outline real quick, and let me see. Did I may have shanghaied my. Okay, we're gonna do this with paint and brush. Normally I do it with paint marker, but let me see how much I've got in this one. Sounds like I'm almost out. I hate to get started and then maybe I can get started and get it finished. I had a paint party with a wonderful group of ladies Friday night, and so I packed up all my paint pens, and I just realized I hadn't put my paint pens back over here. I have a set that I take to paint parties, and so I try not to use them when I'm painting, but I took my set as well, and that way I could use my set for anything that I was helping with. And then the ladies would have an opportunity to use paint pens if they wanted to. And so just about the time I thought, oh, paint pen, and then I went, oh, you know what? I still have my paint pens packed up with. I still have my paint pens packed up with the party stuff. So you're so glad you didn't miss me tonight. Well, thank you. I I debated on whether to even get on. I was like, well, But I had this one and I wanted to do this one and I said, "Yeah, this is gonna be a good weekend for doing this one." So, next weekend, we've got my daughter's, dance recital, and so I'm not real sure. Sometimes after dance recital, we're just all worn out, and so I think last year I took off and just rested all day Sunday after dance recital. We'll see how we'll see how things go this year. I may or I may take the night off next week. We'll just see. We'll see how the weekend goes. Dance recital is usually crazy the week before and then of course the day of. So, okay, so I am just going over all the little, I call them sparkle marks. And then I have got some glitter, galaxy glitter that I want to add to this. So I'm doing these first so that they'll have time to dry before I start adding galaxy glitter. And I don't really want to go over the top of the paint pen. Sometimes paint pens, um, depending upon what you use, going over the top of them, it can cause them to smear. So I will probably just go around them. Oh yes, I love having the lazy Susan. I used to try to pick it up and turn, and then I would have paint all over my hands, and inevitably I would turn around and get paint in all different places, and then I was playing the game of fix it. And so the lazy Susan has just been wonderful as far as being able to spin things around. I don't I try not to spin it around as much when I'm doing my live. Tonight has been a little bit different because I wanted to do the oh, I've got a little defect in the wood there. Um, I was trying to do the flames at the bottom, and so to get that effect, I started with the lighter colors, and of course, by doing that, then I had to turn it upside down. This is probably going to sound weird, but sometimes I think I letter things better, or I paint the letters. Uh, I think I think it's easier if I flip it upside down and go backwards. I don't know why that is. I'm probably some very weird child, but it just seems to work better that way for me. I don't know why. I've got that one little section I didn't do. I've got a slightly darker shade of yellow, and I'm just going to go in and put that in that one little spot so that it shows up kind of as a shadow. I usually try to go faster with a paint pen, but I am going slower since this one is my older one. That way I know um, I'll get all the paint out of it. Almost done though. And then I'm gonna go Do those two little areas, and we should be all finished up, except for the 3D letters. And I'll get those done tomorrow, probably. And then add those in, and I'll post pictures of, uh, of the final with the letters added. Just working my way around the stars. Do the bottom of this one. I have to slow back down. I'd gotten a little faster. I was like, oh, yeah. Then it started to slow up on me. I'm like, oh, no, we don't want you to slow up. We're so close to the end. We want you to finish it out. Make myself a note to unpack my paint pens and put them back over here with my stash. The hydrangea, the truck bed of hydrangeas that I did last week, um, that was actually one of the picks for the paint party this past Friday night. And we had so much fun. That was one of the choices. And we had some impatience in a flower pot. That was also a choice. And oh my goodness, there was going back to the truck bed just for a minute. There was one girl, and I say girl because, well, young lady, I should say. I'm not sure of her age. Um, I think she's out of high school, but I'm not positive. But oh my goodness, she did multicolor hydrangeas, and it was unreal. They were so beautiful. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, can you do mine?" I was thinking, I started to give her mine and go, "Can you just redo mine?" But we had a great time. It was a wonderful night. I enjoyed being with that group of ladies. They were a lot of fun. We had a good time talking and just getting to know each other and painting and oh my goodness, a good way to spend a Friday night. All right, so this is Galaxy Glitter, and this is the clear ice. It's called Clear Ice Comet. Is this one? You can actually get it in different colors, but I like the clear ice. And what I do, I'm just going to go in between where the little sparkle marks are. I'm not gonna go over my sparkle marks because I don't want to smear the paint pen. I don't want to make that boo boo. Sometimes I kind of rub or paint, pull the paint, and then sometimes I just kind of touch it a little bit. But I do like the Galaxy glitter. And there's other glitters. I've seen several other brands, and I know there's, oh, I can't think of the name of the stuff now that you can put down, and it actually before you put the glitter paint on there, and it actually will make more of the glitter stay on the piece and less on your brush. So, what's crazy is no matter what I do, it's very hard to see. I think you can see the sparkle a little bit. I love Galaxy glitter. Oh, the hydrangea. After you watched me do the hydrangea truck, you got brave and painted it. Aw, the color that your father painted his truck. Cool. Oh, blue hydrangeas. Yeah, that was my grandmother. She had blue hydrangeas in her yard, and so oh, you gave it to your mom. Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. Yeah, I have not gone and found a nail, uh, but I'm gonna try. I think you were the one who was telling me to try a nail, a rusty nail beside my hydrangeas. I was coming home a while ago and I saw somewhere down the road somebody's got 3 or 4 different colors. And of course I pull up in my yard and mine doesn't have any blooms at all. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I have got to get in my flower beds and do some work. I did really well just before it started getting hot. And then I got busy with springtime craft shows and all kinds of stuff and and it got really hot outside. So needless to say, I have not been back to really tend to a bunch of my flowers. Thankfully, the work that I did when it was still a little cool in the mornings is still holding. So at least I'm not back to square one. But I do need to get out and do some maintenance. I have to see what tomorrow's like in the early morning before the sun gets to the front of my house. That might be a good way to start the day. This brush I have designated for the Galaxy glitter. Oh my goodness. I did the very first time I used the Galaxy glitter, I put this brush in with the rinse water, and I spent I don't remember how long trying to clean the rest of my brushes because the Galaxy glitter got uh, all over my other brushes. So I do not put this brush into the rinse water, my cup of rinse water that I have. I always set it off to the side when I'm through. I always wash it separately, and then I always put it on a separate paper towel to dry because it was, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, and I've grabbed a brush and started painting some color, and all of a sudden I noticed, wow, it looks a little sparkly. Yeah, still had some glitter in it. It's like, oh goodness. I worked for a gentleman that I actually looked it up, and there is actually a fear of glitter. And I found out he does not like glitter. I told him he was in trouble because he has 2 daughters. Like, You are in a lot of trouble. There's just a thing, girls love glitter. We like the sparkle. Okay, we're trying to wrap this up here. It takes a little bit longer, but I really do like having the galaxy glitter. And I do spread it around sometimes, but to me, if you kind of spread a little and kind of tap as you go, it just really adds the sparkle. And it is so stuck in this brush. I may have to soak this brush overnight. All right, so we are coming, well, I missed all this down here. I thought I was coming around to the home stretch. I'm getting closer though. And you wouldn't have to touch every single part of this. I started out actually not doing that. But then as I went, I was like, oh, more glitter, more glitter. So y'all don't be surprised if I post later that I came back and added even more glitter. All right, now we're getting to the home stretch. And I can hold it up and hopefully the light will hit it and it will sparkle like crazy. As it starts to dry, you can see where it looks, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera or not, but you can see where it looks streaky from where you are putting this on. But as it dries, of course, with it being clear, you won't see all those streaks. And then, of course, after you add a clear coat on top of it, that always helps. Ooh, I got some major chunks right there. Let's spread y'all out a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna set that off to the side. All right, I'm gonna hold this up and kind of move it around in the light a little bit. So that way you can see y'all can see the glitter. I hope that when the sunlight hits it, it really, really sparkles. So, oh great. I have a little, that's what was flying around me a while ago. It wasn't a mosquito, it's a little gnat. Come out of there. I don't want you in my glitter. All right. Well, there are my rockets. Oh, your kids hate glitter? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Oh man. All right, so there's our fireworks, 4th of July rockets. I think they're technical, um, name on the design was actually just called Rockets. So I can't wait to get it maybe out in the sunshine. Maybe I can get some pictures and have it sparkle. Oh, you have twin boys. Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, I can see boys. Now, if it was girls, they'd be, just most of them. I do know a few girls that don't like glitter, but not very many. Most girls are really hyped up over glitter, and they would love to go to school covered in glitter. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot my one little dark spot there. Let me grab a quick brush and do that, and then I can call this one done because I completely forgot about that. Nope, too big. Oh, too big. No, let's grab a round brush real quick. Here we go. I'll do that just a little bit darker so that way it just has that shadowed look to it. All right, so there's that side, and there is that side. All right. Well, I hope you have a great Memorial Day and a wonderful week ahead. And I'm going to paint my letters and then I will put it all together and hopefully can go out in the sunshine and get a really neat picture and post it of it being completed with the 3D letters and everything. So, um, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. And keep watching for new designs and new stuff coming this week. And of course, our featured stuff. Some things that we already have in our shop, and some things that some of the favorites that you don't want to get rid of. You want to keep them just because everybody loves them. That's like the trucks. You just don't ever want to get rid of the trucks. Everybody loves the trucks. Oh my goodness. Well, have a wonderful night. Rest well. Have a great day off if you are one of the ones who get to enjoy Memorial Day off. I hope you have a great day off and a great week as well. And I will see you next time.